So before we even get started doing our quilting, we really want to make sure that we're going to use a scant 1/4 inch seam. So people know that generally when you're sewing quilts, you use a 1/4 inch seam, but when you press open a seam, you lose a little bit on your corners. So we're going to do a scant 1/4 inch seam. And the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put my foot at the side of this ruler just to see where my needle is coming down. And if you look, it's really not so easy to see, but you can do this at home. Get a ruler and watch where your needle comes down if it comes down on the 1/4 inch seam line. So if I put that right so it comes down right in the 1/4 inch, you can see that my ruler is a little bit wider than the width of my foot. So that means the width of that particular foot is actually scant 1/4 inch. Now you may not have a foot like this. There's other things you can do to make scant 1/4 inch. I have a little tool here that I'm going to show you. This is a standard, almost fits any machine, seam guide. And some people might think it's just for beginners, but I use it all the time. This actually screws into a little spot on your sewing machine. Many people have little screw holes and they wonder what they're there for. They're actually there for something like this. So this little seam guide, what I can do with this is I can put my needle down at scant 1/4 inch. So let's find it just inside the 1/4 inch. And now I'm going to put my foot down, and I will adjust my seam guide right up to the edge of the ruler. And that way I know I'm doing scant 1/4 inch. So that's a scant 1/4 inch. I've got it set. So when I use it like this, I always have the same measurement of inch, scant 1/4 inch, when I leave this on. So when you're sewing, you butt your fabric up to the edge of that, and then you always have the same size seam. I have one more trick for you. If you're doing scant 1/4 inch and you don't have a proper foot, and you don't have any way to measure that scant 1/4 inch, get some painter's tape. It's magic. So on the painter's tape, when I went ahead and put my ruler down here, I can see that this is scant 1/4 inch. And if I don't have this handy dandy little tool here, what I can do is put painter's tape right up to the edge of that ruler. So I know that is where my 1/4 inch is, my scant 1/4 inch. And I can run my fabric along here so that I make sure that I'm always keeping it at a scant 1/4 inch. So that's how you get scant 1/4 inch on your machine.